Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Marisa Bludon. For those of you who don't know me, I am the editor and CEO of Own It Magazine and Publishing. I am so excited tonight. We have our July issue. For those of you who are not familiar with the pattern, the platform, and those of you who are familiar with the platform, we have launched this year two additional magazines to the Own It Magazine platform. Those two magazines are the BTG magazine, Bridging the Gap, Strategizing for Student Success, and also the Lifestyles and Leisure Living. And tonight I have with me our cover girl for the July issue of Own It, Lifestyles and Leisure Living. Out of the Philadelphia area is Charmaine Thompson. Welcome to Take Center Stage and Own It, as featured in the Own It magazine. How are you doing, cover girl?
I am good. I am good. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I am so excited to have you here. So honored to have you on the cover. You do a lot of work with women and inspiring them and empowering them and building them up in their faith. And so share a little bit about what inspired you. Like, people are talking about having identity crisis and all this other stuff. And the work that you do really helps people to build their faith and to triumph over tragedy. So talk to us a little bit about who you are and your journey to becoming who you are today.
Well, my name is Charmaine Thompson. I'm a minister, Minister Charmaine Thompson. And I'm inspired with ladies because of my own struggles that I went through as a kid. And, when you go through a certain struggle and God take you through it, He puts you through your struggles so you can be a blessing to someone else, right? So my journey started from me being young and different things that happened to me while I was young. And when I grew up as a teenager, I wanted to just inspire people, to lift people up, to tell them they can make it through anything. I wrote a book, and the book is Faith in the Midst of Adversity. My adversity, I want it to be a blessing to other ladies all over. And this book has been such a blessing. It has been bestseller, really. And I really thank God for that. When I was writing the book, I was thinking about the things that we go through in life. And we go through so much. We go through so much in life and still go on.
Yes.
So, I went through so much in my life then, and now I just wanted to be a blessing to women all over the world.
That is so, people can handle tragedy differently. People can handle trials differently. Some people get bitter, some people get indifferent. How did you talk about the things that you've gone through as a child, as growing up? How did you maintain that, positive perspective and still have hope and joy and love and peace and all that stuff?
Well, I tell you, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It takes years for you to go through this and be able to inspire somebody else. Because when you're going through your tests or your trials or your struggles, all you're thinking about is craziness. You're thinking about crazy things, so it takes a while. And I have been around so much positive women in my life. My mom, she's a positive woman. Her name, Dorothy Clark, that inspire me to just push ahead no matter what I go through in my life. Just push ahead. You can make it through anything. And my sister, Sharon and Marcia, they're I thank God for them because they were the one that helped me through everything that I went through in my life. And I was inspired by a lot of different ladies. And I love to have older ladies in my life because older ladies teach me things that I don't know. And, some of them been through the same thing. So they were able to tell me how to heal through it. I went through depression being a young teenager. And it was not good for me. Because when you're depressed and thinking that you're not loved, when you're depressed and thinking that the world is against you, um, why I say in my teenager years is because even when I was in school, after I went through rape, when I was a young kid, and in my teenager years, you do things that you shouldn't do. So I had all these ladies that inspire me. There was one lady that inspired me so much. Her name was Grace Moore. She was a manager at Chestnut Hill, and she didn't even know me. But this lady poured love in me, just telling me I could make it through anything. And it was in the latter years when I got older and have my own kid. I told her, you have no clue what you did to me when I was younger. And she was like, what? I said, I went through so much, but you inspire me. You pour into me. You tell me I could make it through anything. I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. I'm blessed and highly favored, you know? So
Mhm.
growing up, I thank God. I thank God for the ladies that was around me that pulled me through.
Amen, amen, amen. I remember those times. Adolescent years are very critical because
Yeah.
it is the transitioning from being a kid to fighting your way to being independently an adult. And
Yes.
trying to figure it all out because there's so many
Mhm.
questions. And in most communities, we don't do a lot of the necessary conversations with our young people that are critical, little uncomfortable, sometimes embarrassing. You don't want to really talk about it, and adults avoid having those critical conversations with young people, and that's
Yeah.
why we make those crazy mistakes. Now listen, you do a women's wellness conference. What
Yeah.
first of all, what made you think you could do a conference?
I tell you,
Who told you you could do that?
this conference, I tell you, was inspired by God. Um, Earlier this year, while I was praying and fasting, God put this theme in my head, moving forward. And I was like, moving forward from what? But he inspired me that I need to move forward. So much ladies are stuck in situation, not moving anywhere, not doing anything. So he inspired me to do that theme moving forward. I tell you, when you heal to God, he will push you to do things that you don't even know you can do. Because I had no idea that I could have a conference. But
Right.
I was inspired by God. I said, God, I will surrender. And you hear that word? It's good to surrender. I think when you surrender to God, he inspire you and he give you knowledge that you don't even have. So when I say yes to God, when I surrender my will to him, that's why he inspired me to do this conference. I did not know who was coming to the conference because I was instructed by him not to invite people personally.
Mm.
I was instructed to put it on Facebook and let the people come in. I had no idea that 65 people show up. I tell
Wow.
you, I only invited 6 people, and it was my panel of ladies, but everyone else came. I tell you, I did not know none of these people. This
Wow.
was
Wow.
inspired by God, and I tell you, it was a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise. I love how God um, make the impossible thing possible. I just
Possible.
love when he does that. So when you're inspired by God, he will open up ways for you that you don't even know that you can do. So surrender. And that's the
Surrender.
word, surrender. When you surrender
Surrender.
to God, he will give you insight and foresight to do anything.
Yes, he will. If you listen, he says, they that diligently seek me find me. You
Yeah.
know, you find him when you're diligently seeking him. I like what you said about in regards to so many people are stuck, and the sad part about it is to save face, they will stay stuck
Yeah.
because they don't want the stigma attached to. And I'll be just transparent. I remember a friend of mine sharing with someone how I inspired her. I had divorced, and that I inspired her. She ended up getting divorced, and no, I'm not promoting divorce. But
Mm-hmm.
she had told someone, she had said to them, Marisa really, she really inspired me. And she said, how could she inspire you when she ended up divorced? And so it's interesting to see that people will stay in toxic places only
Mm-hmm.
to say save face to say, hey, my I still have my marriage, but what kind of toxicity are you in? Or you're in relationships, and what toxicity are you in these relationships, only to save face? And they do get stuck. They get stuck right there, in that.
Mm-hmm.
And so um, the healing is in the moving forward. The healing
Yeah.
is in the releasing. And so it's so powerful. And just doing your feature. When we do the feature, we have to do the research. We have to go in. You submit pictures. We go find pictures,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
you get a chance to see. So I got a chance to actually see. I got a chance to actually see. The conference. And you could feel the love in the room. You could feel
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
hugging. When you're presenting, you were presenting different awards. You were giving out roses. Were you giving out roses? You just saw the activity and the interaction just by the pictures alone, to see how much they appreciated and
Mm-hmm.
valued the experience. And for those of you who get a chance, Charmaine shares the issue with everyone she wants to share it with, because we love to share at Own It. You get to see the testimonials. There's
Yeah.
testimonials in the magazine that are captured that speak to the Women's Wellness Conference. And so, talk to us about. So, you did the conference this year. Do you have any plans for? Is this going to be an annual conference?
So
Talk to us about a little bit of information so that they can participate and share the location.
yes. So I plan to do this again next year. So I my theme for that is moving forward. So he's gonna give me just dealing with moving forward. As I doing the magazine, I wrote up a big article in the magazine about moving forward. Don't be stuck in your situation, and move ahead to do great things. You want to do something and you have dreams and you have vision, move forward and do them. Don't stay stuck. Don't say I'm going to write a book. It had taken me 15 years to write my book, but that don't have to be you. Because I wrote my book, I can tell you how to write the book. So you don't have to be stuck and say I'm going to do it and don't do it. People like you, that has so many books, they can ask you about the book. So that's why we have this platform here, so we can share those nuggets, how you can do
Yes.
different things. So don't be stuck. Next year, I plan to do this again in April, which April is a good month to have it. There will be a lot of information on my Facebook page. There will be a lot of information on my IG, in regards to this. So look for God to do some great things. This was one thing. I know that God is up to something great. He's going to do
Yes.
something great next year.
Yes, he is. He is up to some amazing things, and you can see it in all that you're doing. And so, best-selling author, conference host, and visionary. Talk to us about the work that you're doing in Africa.
So I had the opportunity in 2019 to go to Africa under the umbrella of Woman in Waiting, Jennifer Marlowe. And I tell you, I was richly blessed by that trip. It kind of opened your eyes that the stuff that you're worried about, the stuff them that you, I don't have this and don't have that, you have nothing to worry about. I think here in the United States, we live like king and queens, compared to somebody else that don't have anything at all. Some people don't eat, and we have nothing. I tell you, nothing to complain about because we have it all, really. So when I went to Africa, it was an eye opening for me. I see different things, just seeing the kids. I'd carry a lot of barrel under ladies in waiting foundation, and we thought we were doing something good, I tell you. But when we went to where these kids were, it was like 1,000 kids. They're waiting on us to give them something. I tell you, when we was leaving, after we give all these stuff out, and Jennifer Marler gave everything out that she bought, we was going in the bus. These kids was running after the bus. Please give me something. And I was like, oh my God, we were taking our shoes thrown through the window or clothes thrown through the window because we wanted to have something. So, in doing outreach, it's something about giving back to those that are in need, giving back. And it doesn't have to be nothing big. You see people on the street, help them. Even just give them, do you want something to eat? You can go to the store, get them something to eat and give it to them. We have a lot of things happening in the Philadelphia area. You might not be able to go to Africa, but there's a lot of things that you can do right here in the Philadelphia area to help somebody. So I will pray and hope that you will help people. It's a gift. When you help people, you feel good about yourself.
Yes,
for me, when I give back to people, it's like they give me $1 million and I'm the one giving. But the feeling that you get from giving is something else.
It's beautiful. It's priceless. I mean, you feel like you've made a difference, especially in when it's appreciated and valued, and you know that you're making an impact. And just like you said, we are treated like kings and queens in the U.S. And I share that so much. I want to just thank Karen for chiming in. Karen, yep, she's supporting what you say about giving to the kids and giving to those who are in need. And she says, do good, volunteers in Dominican Republic. Here, she's local to our area here in the Dominican Republic. But yeah, it's so important for us to really find a heart for others, having that compassion. Right where we live in our own neighborhoods. You shared about the women speaking into your life, and I can remember the Proverbs, it takes a village. How do you feel about that? Because we have gotten so far off in regards to neighbors and helping when we're on this air, we're in this conversation of volunteering and giving back and looking at our communities and seeing where help is needed. How do you feel about that? That whole ideology behind it takes a village, and how do we even get back to that?
I see now there's so many crazy things happening. And I know with us growing up, it was a village that raised us. It wasn't just our parents that raised us. The next door neighbor over there raised us. The aunts and uncle over there raised us. People from far raised us. So we had that respect for everybody around us. The next door neighbor is our mother. So sometimes we call them mom. It's a lot of craziness. I will pray and hope us as ladies will still have a compassion for the kids that we see in our neighborhood, because there's so many stuff happening. I see all of the killing and all of the stuff that's happening with our teenagers and our young kids, even kids that's 10 years old. We go through a lot. The parents, and you cannot just blame the parents, because just think of a single mom that has to go to work every day, every night, just to try to make ends meet for their kids, to put food on the table for them. So, us as neighbors, when we see a mother that is struggling, trying to work, and then we see the kids them next door, let us say something to those kids so they can come to us, so they can talk to us. Because, if the truth be told, kids don't talk to their parents about everything. They will rather go to somebody else. So why don't you be that somebody else that they will go to and share, pour into them? Because these kids
Yep.
need us.
Yep.
These
They
kids
need
are
us.
our future. We talk about kings and queens and, the presidents of the United States of America. These are our kids. They can be doctors and lawyers. Yeah. So we have to pour those stuff into them so they can
Yes.
know that they can do anything and make it through anything. And, some of the kids them can't go to college because of financial difficulty. If you're financially stable, why don't you help a kid to go to college so they can be a king, be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever it is that they want? So pour into them. I would say, us as lady, we do a lot of things, and we need to be more compassionate when we see a kid not making it. My heart go out when I even look on the news and see these kids that are killing other kids, killing
Hmm.
people. My heart really weep for these kids. Like, what would cause them to do such a thing?
Yeah.
You know, because this is like, I can't even imagine that. So
Mm-mm.
let us, as ladies, pour into these kids. Even they're not our kids, they're our kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Well, that's the nature of women is to nurture, right? It's to
Yes.
nurture, it's to take time and to take care, and be concerned because these same kids, if you ignore them, they're going to be the kids that are making decisions for you while you're in your elderly years.
Yes.
So you want to make sure you're
Hello.
taken care of later. Take care of these
Yeah.
little babies today. Make sure you love them because they're the ones who are going to be making the decisions, and you want them to be able to make quality, grounded, full of wisdom
Decision.
decisions on
Yes.
legislation that's going to deal with you. So you're so right. We have a couple of comments from our audience, so I just want to share them. Angela is sharing about her experience in donating and giving, and it's such a big thing that we really need to become more and more aware of giving, not only internationally but also locally, to local organizations, because coming from Philadelphia, before coming here to the Dominican Republic, I lived in Philadelphia for a few years, and there is a need for help. It's, I like how India
Yeah.
Irie says there's ghettos everywhere. There's
Yeah.
always places where people
Yes.
are in need.
Yes.
There's always, on one side of the road, there's mansions. Right around the corner, there is a neighborhood that is struggling financially. Karen says it's time for HRE young mothers and fathers to give the respect to the elders in order for the kids to know who to trust. That's also true. We need combinations of generations. We need
Mhm.
multiple generations working together. That's what it's about, a village. When it comes to it being a village, it's about crossing generations and
Mhm.
helping out one another. I
Yeah.
want to circle back. We got one more she does a lot of volunteering here. Her organization feeds the families here in the Dominican Republic. Karen is also one of the only contributing writers. She's the concierge for the Dominican Republic here. She's in the magazine on a regular basis. It's nice to have you in the house, Karen, tonight.
Mhm.
She's normally busy doing a lot of advocacy work. And so we're glad to have her. Wanted to circle back around to the Women Wellness Conference and share just who are the women that you look to have? What women are the ones that you would have to one, follow you, connect with you? How can people connect with you and follow you? Because they're going to want to know about this conference, and I'm pretty sure God's going to be having you do some things between now and next April. And I know that people are going to want to connect with you and follow you.
Okay. So if you want to connect with me on Instagram is charmcare11, and on Facebook you could just look me up on Charmaine Thompson, and everything that I'm going to do, I'm going to be putting them on that platform.
Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we're really excited. This is the Own It Lifestyles and Leisure Living July cover girl. We're so excited to have her, and Charmaine has been so excited about this whole
Yes.
journey. And we're honored to have her on the cover and just to really have the opportunity. I am blessed because I sit in a seat where I can see the everyday person doing some spectacular things. And as I compiled and put together your feature, I just had so much great respect for you and the work that you're doing, reading the testimonials from all different shades, colors, cultures,
Yes.
just really, really sharing what you did and how you've impacted their lives based on their experience at the conference. And I know that the audience will be looking for how they connect. So if you're already at 65, and it looked like a packed house in there, you got to see the magazine, people, because in the opening of the magazine, the backdrop is the conference, the room where all the women, in the room where it's happening, all the women are there and they're fixated on Charmaine's face and what's getting ready to come out of her mouth, which is a huge blessing. You get to see that this is a major work, that you've made major impact, and that also they want to know, you're growing, you're expanding. Are you going to do it again in Philadelphia? Are you going to begin to move it around?
Well, it will be in the Philadelphia area for now, but I believe God is up to something. He's going to do something big, in the years to come. I wanted to mention something. So while I was in Africa, the Lord had laid it on my heart to adopt a family. And the family in Africa is such a blessing. You would think I'm a blessing to them, but they're a blessing to me. Just having them as my family, I am so blessed to have them. The father is Lawrence and Eva, and they has been such a blessing in my life. They While I was in Africa and giving and stuff, the Lord had laid it on my heart that I needed to adopt a family. And Lawrence was the one that was driving me around. Had no idea that I was going to adopt his family. But hearing him talk about his family so much, I said, I have to meet your family. So, while we was on the outreach and we went back to a service that we attend to, I said, can I meet your wife? And to his surprise, you want to meet my wife? And I was like, yes. I met his wife, and it was like, oh my God, this is the lady that the Lord want me to adopt. And ever since then, their life has been so blessed. Because, I believe if you are a blessing, you have to bless somebody else. So their life is blessed. And if you ever go to Africa, to Ghana, Africa, now they own their own restaurant.
Ah, yes.
While I was there, this lady, they had asked her to cook for us. And I mean, let me tell you, this lady is a good cook. What she made, I never had it before, but it was so delicious. And I said to myself, when I come here, I have to make this lady have a restaurant. And thank God, they're doing marvelous. They're such a blessing to to their community now. And I thank God for that. So if you should ever go to Africa and go to Ghana, Africa, in Kumasi, please visit Eva's Kitchen, because you will be blessed by her.
Oh, so give us some of the ingredients. What were some of the flavors that were in that meal?
Oh my God. I can't even tell you, 'cause it is so much. It
Oh
was
my
so
God.
delicious. I mean, I make chicken all the time, but her chicken, oh my God. She makes it
Mm.
with so many different flavor. I was blown away by this woman. I was literally blown away by her. Her name is Eva, guys. Go to
Oh
Eva's
my gosh.
Kitchen, please.
Eva's Kitchen. And where is it at? Share with the
It's
people.
in,
Tell them where it's at now.
it's in Ghana, Africa. Ghana,
Awesome,
Africa.
awesome, awesome. You know, I love me some international food.
Oh
So,
my God.
that,
You would really enjoy that. I love my Jamaican food, but this is top of the line. Eva's Kitchen, top of the line.
African dishes are delicious. I love the Ethiopian foods. I love it all. I love it all. And so, any closing remarks? Now we are going to have our cover girl back. She's part of the Own It family now, so we'll definitely be having her back because we want to keep up with all that she's doing, and how she's blessing so many, and how you can connect with her and be blessed by her as well. Please connect with her on Facebook, connect with her on Instagram, follow her on Instagram, and wherever you can find her name and her what is it? It's Charmaine Charm Care
Charm Care 11 on IG.
and IG. And so, yeah, you want to follow her and connect with her and follow her with all that she's doing, especially if you're local to Philadelphia. You want to
Yes.
make sure you're in the room where it happens, man. And so we are just so thankful. We're so blessed by your story. And let me just check my little list to make sure I got everything. Okay, tell the people again about your book, and then we'll close out.
Okay. So my book is Faith in the Midst of Adversity. And you can look me up on Instagram. You can find me on different platforms. You will be blessed by this. This book wasn't just a book that was written, it was inspired by God to give my story so my story can be a blessing to you. No matter what you're going through, I don't care what it is. Know that you are blessed and highly favored by God. You are the head and not the tail. You are above and not beneath. You're blessed and highly favored by God. And no, nothing is too hard for God to do. So whatever you want, just believe that God got it for you. He has everything. He has a cattle on 1,000 hills. Listen, we are his kids. And if you had a father, my personal father was such a blessing to me, and he would give me anything. Can you imagine God? He will give you anything that you want. He said, ask and you shall receive. Press down, shaking together, and running over. So whatever you want, ask God. You have dream, you have vision. Reach for it. Move forward. Don't be stuck in where you are, but move forward. You have power inside of you. God has given you power. Exercise that power that He has given inside of you and move forward for greater things.
Yes, yes. When you were saying that, I was thinking to myself the song. We're blessed in the city. We're
We're
blessed in
blessed
the
in the
field.
field.
We're
Yes.
blessed when we come and when we go. We tear down every stronghold. Sickness and poverty must flee. For the devil is defeated. We
We
are
are
blessed.
blessed.
Ooh, yes, we are blessed, 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 blessed. So it
Yes,
has been
yes,
such a pleasure interviewing with you. It's been such a pleasure and an honor, I must say, to see the work that you're doing. It just feels good to know that we have sisters out there that are doing the darn thing, that care about our young people, that care, who have not let traumatize them, but they've gotten
yes.
healed.
Mhm.
And that's what we have to do. We have to do the work of the Lord to bless other people and free them. And sis, you have done a phenomenal job. And I'm so proud of you, so
Thank you.
honored by you, and looking forward to having you back. And then even hopefully maybe we could get the African family to come online if we
Right.
can.
Yes,
That would
yes.
be awesome too. As well as have some of your people who have attended conference. That would be nice as well to come
Yes,
and for them to, by their own mouth, share their testimony. So we're looking forward to having our July cover girl
yes.
back. She is the Own It Lifestyles Leisure Living magazine cover girl for July 2022. Charmaine Thompson, we are so thankful to have you.
Thank
Um,
you.
and just
Thank
sharing
you
the
so much. Thank you so much for having me. May God continue to bless you. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. We are out.